So we know that you do this, but we also want you to talk about it. Tell us about your festival volunteering endeavors, because we know you do a lot for us.
Wow. Woodford Art Festival. Well, having participated in the festival from 2016, 17, and 18, it was a lot as an artist to do, set up your art, deal, interface with patrons and the whole thing break down. But I never knew what was going on behind the scenes, even though I was a member. So 2019, I decided I'll become more involved. And that's when you're being thrown into the fire, you realize just how much is involved in setting it up. So 2019, I rounded up food trucks. We had them in town. That was a major effort in getting them to sign the appropriate papers and getting the permits in, et cetera, et cetera. And then that's also when I started helping to mark the streets for each and every booth, which, believe me, it's a task. It's a huge effort. And 2019 was kind of a blur, but this is pre-COVID. So moving forward, we ended up, COVID kicked in. We didn't have it for that year. But in 2019, for 20, I had redesigned the entire town layout for 250 artist booths that went right down to Gardener's Wharf. We were looking at possibly having a beer garden at Gardener's Wharf, maybe having buses go all the way down there and back, and maybe making it more integral, getting the merchants involved. And well, anyway, the festival didn't happen in 20, so we had to set up the park differently to meet CDC requirements spatially. So I laid out, it just so happens I ended up with my background, I laid out the booth spaces in the park. I was also integral in, well, when I said laying it out, I mean marking it off, marking the ground, all the spaces in the ground, working with various vendors. But, and I'm losing part of it, I know that I did a lot. Oh, you're getting stuff out of storage, putting it in trucks, bringing it to the field, getting that set up, and being there all day Friday, right up to close Friday when the artists are coming and helping them set up, being there Saturday all day, being there Sunday all day, and then breaking down, and then putting everything back in the truck, which is multiple trips, which, but what year is it? Was this our 4th year in the park now? We're going into our 4th year in the park. 4th year in the park, yeah. So we really refined laying out the park, laying it out last year, which was, it's a huge effort to do that, but so it doesn't require a lot of manpower, if you will. So we've really streamlined it, working with the town to make that happen. It's a much better space. The artists are selling more art, and that's the big thing, is that when our forefathers set it up in the village, it was all about the artists and selling. And it just so happened it was in downtown Woodford, and so the merchants may have benefited from that increase in foot traffic, over the years. But we found as time went by, it was just too much to handle spatially for us, and we're a volunteer group. So being able to go to the park and just stand there and you could see the entire thing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it may not have its, and again, I live in Woodford. There is a certain charm of coming into town and seeing these little white tents, everybody, and people mingling around. But the artists are not selling as much as they are in the park. And that's what it's all about.